Hey, it's Jacqueline at Pixidust PhD. I am filming this on Sunday, April 14th, 2024. This is probably getting posted like a full week later, but you know, that way you're anchored to a date when I go over news and there's some stuff that's been excluded from between the 14th and 21st or so. It's April, which means it's month 50, so in this creator update we are going to do some news. There's quite a lot, honestly. Just do top level highlights and then we'll do stats, analytics, and revenue for the month as well as lifetime of the channel. The channel is full on in vlog content mode right now from my October 2023 trip. I know most of you are not here for vlogs. I know I'm also not much of a natural vlogger per se, so I super appreciate you sticking around and viewing it, even if it's maybe not your jam. Even if you're not viewing it, you know, making sure you check out the channel for the occasional thing that you're here for, like the DVC content. Thanks so much to everyone who likes the video and subscribes to the channel as well as turns on notifications. And big thanks to Judy, who is a monthly supporter over on my Ko-fi. I super really appreciate it. I cannot even put it into words. I also didn't realize this was like a recurring monthly thing for you, like a subscription basically, until recently, so apologies that I didn't catch on to that sooner. All right, let's get to the news, and we will start with Universal. For those of you who are newer to the channel, maybe don't know this, I love roller coasters, so I'm a big Universal fan. We don't go as often as Disney, but we definitely still do go, and I am so hype for Epic Universe, which is going to be their new theme park. Since we last talked, they released a sort of fly-through video of really sophisticated models, basically, of the two new resorts, the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna. These are opening in January and February of 2025, and I believe are in their tier that's equivalent to like a value level resort. So I think they start at around $150 a night, depending on obviously the time of year and how many nights you book. But anyway, the point is, they're not ridiculously expensive resorts. They are building a ridiculously expensive resort for the Epic Universe area that I'm super looking forward to, and I am a sucker, so I'll probably end up paying for it at some point in my life. The other big Universal news I wanted to touch on just briefly is they also released a fly-through for the Isle of Berk land in the new Epic Universe theme park. Isle of Berk is the How to Train Your Dragon themed land. It looks so cool. It looks so highly themed. A lot of water elements, which is super fun. Obviously, like, dragons are really cool. I think even if you don't love the How to Train Your Dragon franchise or aren't familiar with it, this is going to be one of those lands I could see just going to and hanging out in and like having a fantastic time. It's more a family-oriented land, so there's like a water soak-em ride, I think, kind of a kiddie coaster, although it's like a family thrill coaster, so we'll see how kiddie or not it is. I'm guessing it'll be slightly more intense than maybe like Big Thunder Mountain is kind of how it looks to me from the fly-through, but only time will tell. There's also going to be a show. There's another sort of flyer ride. I don't know how to explain it. You should watch the fly-through if you're interested. And you can meet Toothless, who's the very cute dragon. He's like the face of the franchise, the dragon face at least. It's also wild to me that they are releasing the How to Train Your Dragon fly-through now. So like, how good are the other ones going to be? Because you would think they would release them in order of hype, basically, of like, this is going to be the coolest at the end. And so we're already getting How to Train Your Dragon land and it's already this good, like, yes. Let me know in the comments if you guys care about Epic Universe or not. I'm not going to change this channel. We're not pivoting to be like an Epic Universe news coverage or anything, but I am just interested to get a sense from you all, like, do you care at all? Do you think you're going to go? Or are you super hyped like I am? Like, where are you falling on that scale? Moving on, probably what I think is the biggest piece of Disney news is we just learned that Walt Disney Studios Park over in the Disneyland Paris resort is going to be renamed to Disney Adventure World. This is slated to happen once World of Frozen opens, which I believe will be spring of 2025. They're renaming an entire theme park, so obviously people have a lot of feelings about that. I'm kind of neutral, like I don't really love the name Disney Adventure World. But I do actually really like that they're pivoting away from Walt Disney Studios Park because, like, what does that park have to do with studios or like the behind the scenes of the magic of movie making? I feel the same way about Hollywood studios. I think there's such cognitive dissonance to me between the name of the park and what the park offers. And so Adventure World is like not my favorite name, but it's generic enough that it fits everything that's already in that park, I think, and fits the coming expansions. If you have strong feelings about this, I want to hear about it in the comments down below. But really just for like commiserating, like it's funny whenever these things happen and then you see petitions float around online as if Disney's like actually going to listen and change the name of the theme park when they've surely already copyrighted it and done all the design work for the new logo and stuff. Like, that's here to stay, okay? If they ever do rename Hollywood Studios, I hope it's not Disney Adventure anything. Like, the word adventure feels very overused, in my opinion, in the sort of Disney experiential landscape. And what if we just picked some other words to highlight, maybe? Over at Disneyland Resort in California for Pixar Fest, there are going to be some new food booths opening, highlighting foods and drinks inspired by Pixar characters. So it's kind of like food and wine, like a very baby one, but you know, Pixar themed, so that's fun. And Fantasmic is officially returning to Disneyland on May 24th. So I know that's been long awaited by many. I'm sure it will hit different because I think the show is going to be a little bit different without the giant Maleficent dragon. We'll have to see what the replacement is, but at least it's coming back. Also, if I'm wrong about the giant Maleficent dragon going away, please let me know in the comments. As I've said many times before, I'm not a Disneylander. I just peripherally pay attention to what's going on. I'm happy to admit that I'm wrong about any of this. We did also get a peek at some concept art for the new Avatar experience slated for Disneyland Resort sometime, who knows where, who knows when. It's really neat looking artwork, and I think it at least does heavily imply that the Avatar experience at Disneyland would be Way of Water themed, so the second Avatar movie, and it's not just going to be like a copy-paste lift of a smaller Pandora over there. So I do not care for the Avatar franchise. So I'm happy to see at least it's not a carbon copy, and it should be something new and different. Otherwise, I really don't have strong opinions because it's so vague and far out into the future, and again, it's like not a franchise that I care about. Over in Disney World, there's going to be a new annual pass holder lounge from May through about mid-June. This will be in Restaurant Marrakesh in Epcot, and it should be open from about noon to 8 p.m. daily. And for news affecting both Disneyland and Walt Disney World, we did get a sneak peek at some of the animatronics going into Tiana's Bayou Adventure, so this is the retheme of Splash Mountain at both parks. There's now a YouTube series called We Call It Imagineering, which if you are into that kind of like behind the scenes aspects of the parks, I highly suggest you go check it out. But the animatronics look really cool and very impressive. If you pay attention to the theme parks abroad, some of the Asian theme parks have gotten some way more sophisticated animatronics than we have. So the stuff we tend to have in Disney World has the like projected faces, which they do their job, but it's, you know, maybe not the most immersive. The Tiana's Bayou Adventure animatronics seem to be way more fully fledged out, way more on par with what we're seeing overseas. It's not relying on that projection face mapping. They look great, and from the little movements we've seen so far, they look super smooth, really nice. I'm excited. And the last thing is, again, for both Disney World and Disneyland, we are seeing some revisions to the Disability Access Service program. The key takeaway for me here is actually I don't think a ton has changed, but we will need to wait and see about implementation. There's still a ton of question marks in my brain. As with the internet, everyone's sort of jumping to conclusions, and I firmly believe we're in wait and see mode for the most part. I am making a fully separate video going over those updates. Maybe it posted before this one, maybe it's coming shortly after this one. I couldn't tell you. Life is wild and I'm not too able to plan things in advance as well as I would like to, but if you haven't already seen it, it's coming soon, and if it is posted on the channel, I will link it in the description below. Those were the big news items I wanted to highlight. As always, I would love to hear your feedback on any of them, and if there was anything I missed that you want to chat about, leave a comment down below. Let's get into stats and analytics. We will start with month 50. I pulled these from March 11th through April 10th, and wow, how is it already mid-April? In this past monthly period, there were a couple of DVC videos, so we did go ahead and finally talk about what Universal Swap is with your DVC points, and then we also did take a look at 7-month availability centered around sort of fall break time. Then there was the month 49 creator update, as well as a slew of vlogs. You've probably noticed most of those vlogs are shorter. Some are only, honestly, like a minute and a half. Even the longer feeling ones tend to be like 6 or 7 minutes, so I'm trying to sort of chop it up rather than post like everything we did on day 2 of our vacation. It's like, okay, well, here's one topic, this was one meal, this was another meal, this was another experience, something like that. So shorter, but maybe more frequent posting. Like I'm trying to do more than one a week if they are going to be these little bite-sized things. And I'm going for the most part chronologically, so we are finally sort of wrapping up the Universal portion of the vlogs. Though there was a Monday afternoon where we were still firmly at Universal, but we decided to take that afternoon to go do a Disney Springs happy hour crawl. And I had a lot of fun, and I think we shared some good looks at like realistically what you could expect to get if you were going to go on an adventure like this. That has not gotten a lot of views, which I was kind of surprised about because it does seem fairly topical for a lot of folks. In general, the vlogs don't get a lot of views, and I know that's going to happen, but I thought the Disney Springs one might break that trend. But, you know, this is what I get for trying to predict the internet. Here is a look at the top content posted this month. These are all proper videos. I did post one short this month. It was sort of a walkthrough of our room at Loews Royal Pacific at Universal, but I think the timing of the month cutoff was not favorable to that. So within this monthly period, that short I think probably got like 140 views. Overall, that short got about 800 views, so it'll probably show up in the next monthly creator update. A good mix of content here. Again, leans more DVC, definitely room tour is doing well, and the Disneyland Paris stuff has been just kind of bubbling up to the surface a little bit the past few months. I guess maybe folks are going to Olympics or just trip planning in general, but yeah, it's nice to see that content get some engagement. Hardly any of this content was posted this month though, so really only 3 videos, one being the 7-month availability video and one being the Universal Swap, and then the monthly creator update, which we talked about DVC news, so I'm guessing that's why that garnered some more views. Taking a look at the views for the videos we did post this month, again, you can see those sort of top 4, anything with that bar that's got like the pink and blue and yellow header, those are all sort of vlogs from the October 2023 trip. All those are doing not that great. And then yeah, the other videos we posted this month did, pretty well, or at least well enough. In month 50, we amassed just over 7,400 total views from about 5,100 unique viewers. Of those, 873 of you are returning viewers. Thank you so much for your consistent support. It really is so unexpected and cherished. The channel accumulated just over 530 watch hours this month. We got about 96,000 impressions, with 40.3% of those impressions coming from YouTube. And overall, we had 33 new subscribers this month. For lifetime of the channel, we are now at just under 304,000 views overall and just under 19,500 watch hours. The channel has amassed 3.14 million impressions, and 38.3% of those impressions are coming from YouTube. And in total, we now have 1,664 subscribers. Doing some comparisons and overall impressions, last month, month 49, was pretty weak. So I had a feeling coming into this month we would do decently, at least comparatively. And yeah, that largely turned out to be true. The percent view duration was down a bit, but not by much. And also the not subscribed number was slightly worse, but not a ton. The impressions and impressions from YouTube stats for this month compared to last month really rebounded, which was good to see because, not gonna lie, I was a little worried about those last month. And we got 33 new subscribers this month. I believe it was 21 last month, so definitely a big improvement month over month. 33 for a month is, still a little bit lower than ideally I would like to be, but I think considering I know I'm posting vlogs and that's not necessarily gonna find me a lot of new people, and that's probably also not going to make a lot of the core audience very happy, I'm so okay with that. I will take 33 for this month. For views, we did eclipse 300,000 views a lifetime, and we are so close to 19,500 watch hours. This also means 20,000 watch hours is in reach, which just blows my mind. Granted, I have been doing this for more than 4 years now, but it's still that's a lot of time. That's a lot of people's time going to having my content on, so it's super humbling. At this pace, we are unlikely to hit 2,500 subscribers by the time we're at year 5, but we still seem to be doing fine for 2,000 subscribers, so, it is what it is. If I ever have more bandwidth to do some more creative stuff on the channel, I know we've talked about a DVC Shorts series before, I think that could really help, but it is a balance for me. I do just have to balance my job and my sort of real life commitments with this hobby. Moving on to revenue, overall stats-wise, I would say month 50 was pretty average, but revenue was pretty good. We made about $67. That's almost $25 for every 1,000 ad views, or almost $9 for every 1,000 views in general. And since we last talked, I did get another paycheck from YouTube, hooray! It was for about $125. And since it is that time of year, I do just want to note for any small creators or aspiring creators that your payments from YouTube are taxable. They are not withholding taxes from it. I didn't see an option for that personally. If you have that option, could you coach me through how to do it? But yeah, so it comes back to you as a 1099, and then you have to file taxes on it and pay taxes for it. And in one of the year 4 creator updates, we sort of took more of a deep dive look at revenue by video source, and that is kind of when this light bulb went off of the 7-month availability videos are pretty good for that. So this continues to back that up. In this past monthly period, my top earning video was the 7-month availability one. I don't know if that's just the sheer length of those videos. It's really hard for me to get those done in under about 35 to 40 minutes, and a lot of them often are 50 minutes. It is a lot of resource. I think it's 18 or something, and going through every room category, even if I'm going kind of fast, does take time. So because those videos are longer, there are more ads, so is maybe just the sheer amount of having more ads in general helps with that. Maybe people are watching more of the ads. Who knows? If I was watching these videos, I would not watch them straight through. I would definitely jump around just to the resorts I cared about, but what do I know about the average YouTube viewer? If you watch those videos all the way through, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And for lifetime revenue, we're now at about $835. And despite both me feeling like the stats haven't been great, and I think the stats sort of prove that they haven't been great the past few months, earning-wise, we're doing kind of better than ever if you look at this 6-month breakdown. I never really expect to get more than about $30 to $40 in any given month, and the past handful of months we're hitting the $60 mark, so that's rad. Upcoming content, we are going to continue to pluck away through the vlogs. So our Leaky Cauldron breakfast has already been posted, but I believe that will be the first video that counts in the new monthly period. And like I mentioned, we do have a revised Disability Access Service video either recently posted or on the way. Then we'll take a look at some more food vlogs. So we did go to Minion Cafe at Universal as well as to some Chocolate Emporium. Both of those were first time experiences for me. Then we'll start moving into the Disney portion of our trip, starting with our first room tour, which we did get to stay at a deluxe studio at the Polynesian for the first time. And depending on my work and life schedule, I might try to do just a quick DVC availability video, but only looking at the cabins. So I believe April 23rd is the first day cabins bookings open up just generally for anyone with eligible points. It's not like cash only or it's not home resort only, all that stuff. I think like starting April 23rd, if you have points that are eligible to be used at the cabins, you could book the cabins. So sometime soon after that, I might try to film a video and just take a look at like what the initial demand is, but I'm not making that promise. That's a maybe. As I've expressed a bunch of times, it feels like the past many months, work has just been like tough. And honestly, I don't know if it's ever gonna let up. So I feel behind on the channel. I think I am behind on the channel. I know I'm behind in getting back to your comments. Thank you again for your patience. So that disclaimer of if you see me disappear for a week or two, I just drowned in work and I'm okay, but you know, something might have to pause. And also my partner and I are taking a bit of a longer vacation upcoming here, so I will like fully disappear for a bit. I plan to try to work hard enough to make sure that content's still being posted on the channel, but if I fall fully silent here and on Ko-fi and on Twitter or on Instagram, wherever, like that's why. If you had your spring break, I hope it was lovely, and generally I just hope things are going well for you. The weather's finally turning around here, so that's been super nice. And my partner and I took a long weekend just to go to Denver for fun. We went to a Rockies game. If you are curious, they hide their Rockies-themed Mickey in club level. Now I'm wondering how many teams have all their really cool stuff hidden in club level. That was my first time I'd ever been in club level. It was awesome. This was not like all food and drink included club level. It was, you know, normal poor person club level, but still like way more expensive than cheap seats. But I think for us, it was totally worth it. It was a very windy day that day, so we wanted to have access to an inside concourse. Wishing you all the best. I hope you're staying safe, healthy, and well. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.